drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
And welcome back, everybody. We are live once again for our senior episode of Hitting the Field. That's right, it's the end of the year, guys. It's finals weeks is upon us, and just like that, we were supposed to be in the studio having a nice little special show for you seniors, where it wouldn't be through the webcam and be boring like this. But we're going to make it exciting. So let's go ahead and introduce everyone, starting to right next to me, my left, your right, something like that. I got Chris Wolf out of wherever he's out of. Seattle. I know you're not from Seattle, but you like Seattle's fans. Gainesville. I remembered. Chris, how you doing today?
Orlando.
No, you're from Gainesville. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Just glad to be here.
Love to hear it. And then further next to him, out of Duval County, we got the man, the myth, not the legend though, Kyle Partain outside. How you doing, Partain?
Yeah, baby steps. We'll get to that legend stage, but doing pretty good. I mean, we got sunny skies here, no tornadoes like all y'all down in Orlando, so we're looking forward to this show. It's gonna be a good one.
I heard about that too. It's kind of feels bad for them. But above Partain, we got Troy Alford from South Florida. Troy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
Great.
All right. And then to his right, we have from Texas, Jeremy Brener, the executive producer of the show. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm good, Jaret.
Looking a little clean shaven.
Yeah. I wanted to get like a rookie Jaret Kappelman look for the final show. So
that is what a rookie Jaret looks like. All right, and then to his right, the other guy hailing out of South Florida. Well, from South Florida. Armond Sarduy. Armond, how's it hanging today?
Yeah, just chilling, in this rain. It makes it more of an excuse to stay inside. So
I wish I had rain. It's sunny down here. I need an excuse to stay inside. All right, guys. Well, this is our senior episode, so I'm going to let you guys take the wheel. But first, let's jump into last night was a huge night for sports. Let's be honest, especially in the basketball world. The Last Dance kicked off, I believe it's a 10-episode series. The first 2 episodes aired last night, so I'll jump around quickly. Anyone, just go ahead. Someone started off. What did you guys think of The Last Dance, and why did this take so long to
I got something.
All right, Armand.
Well, I'd say that Scotty's most unappreciated, underrated player of all time. I mean, the way he got paid, 70 or 80 mil, that's pretty much minimum wage compared to what players get paid this time around. But it's just like the man that brought you, one of the people that brought you 5 championships so far, with none other than Michael Jordan, who's arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. The second man to Michael Jordan, why would you pay him that less? Like 7 years, 18 million, he got fleeced. And the way he berated Jerry Krause is forever screw Jerry Krause. He tried to broke up the whole band even before the season started. But it was very insightful. I actually got to watch the TVMA version of it with all the curse words. So I got the whole uncensored of it. So that was pretty good. But yeah, I'll respect to Scotty Pippen, unappreciated, underrated. I'll respect to him though.
Fair enough. Anyone else? Who else caught some episodes last night? Jeremy, I know you were texting me telling me to watch it.
It's the greatest documentary since Tiger King, so you have to see it.
But Tiger King wasn't good. Tiger King wasn't good.
It's been a whole 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It might even be better than Tiger King when it's all said and done.
Anything's better than Tiger King.
Must-watch TV for April 2020 and May 2020, especially when very little's going on. But yeah, we'll be talking about it on the HTF podcast a little bit more. So feel free to tune into that.
All right, Troy, I know you're a huge basketball guy. What do you think? How'd they portray, Jordan, and how the first two episodes?
It was great to get an inside look on, Jordan's early beginnings, from, his college days to his first season, second season, the foot injury. It was great to watch, and it's also great to, watch Scottie Pippen because we never really got this kind of insight on his career, so seeing that element of the documentary and where it's going to head is pretty nice to see. Obviously the contract was crazy. I didn't even know he was signed like that. But if you notice that a lot of guys didn't make a lot of money back then in the league. And if you also look at Michael Jordan's numbers, that big contract he had, he only got paid like that at the end of his career. But the years prior to that, he was only making like, I might be wrong, but like 10 million at the most, 10, 12 million. So the low numbers back then were common, but I still believe Scottie Pippen should have got more money. But yeah, the numbers weren't that high back then, so that's one thing we got to consider.
For sure.
It wasn't right, but that was kind of how it was a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they did. Partain, did you catch an episode or two?
I caught both. I caught both episodes last night. I think I'm on board with Troy and Armond on this. I think the Pippen contract was kind of the highlight of the first two episodes. I thought it was really well put together. Obviously, it's been a long time in the making, and I was really, really interested to see the team chemistry and how that changes and how that evolves during the season. I'm a little bit disappointed with the amount of focus it's put on the actual last dance as far as the season goes for MJ. Everyone tunes in to watch this. This is the season to watch this. The whole point of the documentary. I don't particularly think we needed so much backstory on that sophomore season of MJ. Yeah, it gives us the backstory. It's great to see. I'm not against putting it in the documentary, but I think it's time to start moving it along and see the actual Last Dance a little bit more in depth because I think that season is where the best content has come from so far. This documentary.
All right, Chris, what'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good, and I kind of agree with the whole Scottie Pippen thing. That was just when I saw that contract. When I saw what he actually got, I was just shocked. I'm just like, making on average just like less than $3 million a year for a player of his caliber was ridiculous. That last season he was 122nd in the league in salary. 122nd. In this day and age, this year, 122nd in the league in salary would still be over $10 million in this day and age. So that just goes to show how much money is advanced from even the late 90s to now.
Fair enough. The one thing I think was really surprising, which started to come out, I think it came out a little bit before it premiered last night, was that Jordan waited till the 2016 Cavs parade to give the okay for this to all happen, and then it took the next 4 years to put it all into place. But do you think Jordan saw he's like, LeBron just got his third. It's time for me to, resurface and remind everyone why I'm the best?
100% accurate. With that right there. Obviously, MJ's got a point to prove. And by the end of this, we talked about it on the GOAT debate podcast the other day. Go to that right there. But those two, MJ's got a point to prove. LeBron's coming for his title, but MJ's got to prove why he earned that in the first place and why no one will live up to that. And he did that in the first two episodes. And it's only been 2 episodes. We haven't even gotten close to the bulk of that season. And honestly, by the time we get to his flu game, people will still call it very irresponsible in the year 2020.
Oh yeah, nowadays it's really irresponsible with what's happening.
They might
now.
edit that out. Maybe they'll say he maybe they'll say he didn't at all. Maybe they'll rewrite history. Maybe they'll say he had food poisoning or something.
It would take a very great video shopper to do that because I've seen highlights from the flu game. He had the flu. Anyone else? Armond, Troy, Chris, Partain?
Yeah, this this is what ends the debate right now. So Braun posted on his Instagram, I think a video of Michael Jordan. He said "GOAT." That ends it right there. LeBron said MJ's GOAT, then he's GOAT.
Is that not a humbling thing, though? I mean, come on.
Really can't argue that logic, dude. Really cannot argue that.
Can I ask the question? Do you all think that MJ is wrong for putting out a documentary or greenlighting it?
No, he's petty though. He's petty for it.
I don't think it's petty, and here's why, Armond, because LeBron's been taking shots at MJ for years.
Yeah.
So now that MJ is biting back, it's kind of like, there's nothing wrong with it because LeBron. Remember that time when LeBron dunked the ball and looked at MJ when he was dunking the ball
in the playoffs?
Yeah, that was playoffs when he was in the Heat.
Yeah, like he's been taking shots at MJ for years. He called himself the GOAT on one of his show More Than an Athlete. He said, "I think that made me the greatest of all time when I beat the Warriors." Like he's been taking shots at Jordan for some time now, guys. So I think this documentary is necessary.
Well, here's the thing. To even debate who's the best, people say, oh, well, MJ played against plumbers. Okay, Pippen's barely making money, so you're obviously playing against people that love the game. Versus today's age, people just take the bag and dip, or people ring chase. Like, you don't see as much love for the game. But it's like, Jordan played against worse competition. LeBron's playing against better competition. But is LeBron playing against players that are just in it for the money? Or is Jordan's playing it against people that are in it for the basketball? I mean, there's so many aspects to it.
Yeah, but something that I think a lot of people are forgetting, at least from last night, is he explained why he took that contract extension. It's because he said he didn't want to risk getting injured. And, Scottie Pippen in 1991, a one-time NBA champion, is obviously going to take that deal. And then five-time NBA champion Scottie Pippen, obviously his value has increased. But also, like, if you're the front office, you're like, I got Scottie Pippen for pennies. I'm going to take it. I'm going to keep it. And if you're Scottie Pippen, I'm like, well, I had agreed to this contract. And he said that. He's like, I agreed to this contract. But he's also like, man, I kind of hope that I can get an extension. So, I mean, should he have been extended? Probably. But it was clear that team wanted to break up. The front office wanted to break up that team. And Scottie Pippen was part of that. So, I think we'll see in future episodes a little bit more about the downfall of that team, which is probably just as intriguing as the rise of that team. Because for a team to win 6 championships and be that like disgruntled, there's some tea there that I can't wait to sip.
That is true. That is true. I mean. When do you see a team win 6 championships in 8 years and it's like, we're gonna have a lot. We might see the dysfunctional kind of. You don't see that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where the development of that distrust between front office and players goes. I kind of want to see how that develops even further. Obviously, it's not good. It wasn't good, and we can see after 2 episodes the extent to how that mistrust has grown in the span of 2-3 weeks into the season. So I'm curious to see what that looks like by the time we hit mid-season and how that just grows and kind of chips away at what that team really stood for throughout those previous couple of championship runs.
Fair enough. And one last thing I want to talk about basketball before we get into the fun senior stuff. Scottie Pippen actually was relieved of his duties supposedly from his advisor role with the Bulls. I mean, they cleaned out their GM the week before. Are the Bulls cleaning house, I guess? Is this what this is? Or did Scottie really not even have a role with the Bulls? And it was kind of just like to the public eye, he was part of the team.
My guess is they saw part of that documentary. They got where everyone else did. They got to look at like the cuts and some of the interviews, and they were like, "Yeah, no, this is
the
not."
The timing really was kind of interesting if you look at it. Like, they fire the GM, then Scotty's let go of his, and then MJ documentary where he played his career with the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, they relieved him of his duties months ago, before the season started. So, like, they did that behind closed doors. They didn't reveal that. Nobody said that. The Bulls didn't say nothing. The Scottie Pippen didn't say anything either. So, that was a decision made behind closed doors. This documentary, the footage has been out for 20-plus years. And the interviews have been done probably since 2016. So, chances are they had a good look at at parts of the documentary that Scottie was going to be saying on camera. And they might have made that decision. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something else. Maybe it has something completely different to do. I know Michael Jordan is not an ambassador for the Bulls either, but that's because he's an owner of another team. So I mean, there's a whole lot of tea there. And you just gotta
Chris, someone new.
I mean,
they're cleaning
I mean,
out.
it's also weird. It's also weird that Jordan he distrusted that the management of the team for like his whole career, like literally ever since the sophomore in like a secondary league, like when he was having to play 7 minutes per, like when he had to play like 7 minutes per half after coming back from injury. That's when he started. That's when all it started.
Fair
And he
enough.
wasn't able to play the last all that.
I'm going to take Troy's side. They're just cleaning the house. I'm not entirely sure this has anything to do. Like you said, Jeremy, this footage has been out 20 plus years. This is if they would have, granted they may not have interviewed Pippen until what 3-4 years ago. I don't know how long ago they interviewed him. The concept of the story and the storyboarding, it's been around long enough where you have to assume that decision would have been made earlier if it had anything to do on this documentary. I truly believe they're just cleaning house.
Troy, so I know you said it earlier, but just cleaning house, that's it?
Yeah, I think they're just cleaning the house. I don't see anything, unless more information comes up. But as far as what's presented, then they just clean the house.
Well, we got 8 episodes still. Armand, anything else to add on this?
Yeah, I mean, this goes to show that with the Scotty thing, like, you know, you could be winning, but you can't necessarily be happy all the time. You know, someone in the organization is going to be unhappy. Doesn't matter how much money you have. For example, with KD, you know, he won back-to-back championships with the Warriors, but he was unhappy because Steph was getting more love. It was always going to be Steph's team, but obviously KD was the best player on that team when he was on the Warriors. So this shows that, you know, you could be winning, but somebody in the organization is going to be unhappy.
Fair enough. All right, well, that's it for the sports talk. I want to get into the fun senior stuff that I have prepared a couple things for. Wait, Jeremy, you wanted to add something? Or you're crying? You're crying. So I'll just give a quick rundown. Jeremy and I joined the same exact time, same exact meeting, fall of 2017. So 6 seasons ago, Jeremy and I joined together. Then shortly after, Armond came. And then shortly after, Troy joined. And that was like, you know, us 4 have been together really since the beginning, honestly. Like, since, like, our beginning, like, we were always there. And then next year, I believe it was that 2018 fall is when Partain joined.
I believe so, yeah.
And then we got Wolf. We got Wolf here and there in the fall, and then we really got him here and there in the spring. Then we really got him committed this past fall. And now the rest is kind of history. I mean, we got 5 of our top panelists from, HTF history. All these alums are coming at me for that comment. I already know. That's getting clipped and sent to me like, yo, you're fired. Like, But, so we'll just go down the line. Jeremy, I'll start with you. What's your favorite HTF memory? We'll start with the favorite HTF memories.
Man. Oh man, my favorite memory. There's a lot. Man, I guess. There's so many to choose from because I started off as like the measly intern, I guess you could say, and I would just do like the small jobs, and then it turned into more and more as I worked my way up. I would say though, the time when I had the most fun on the show was probably the last show we did as that first season with the draft show.
Yeah.
Just because it was our first draft show, it was like our first full live thing, and that group, I love that group. Shout out to all those guys, Carl, C, Meech, Ben Sanders, like the OG, like we're talking Kyle Riley, there's Nick, I could go on for Kyle Graham, Mark, Tati. There's so many people from that first group that really kind of initiated me, brought me into the circle. Bree Sorensen, who brought me into HTF. There's just so many people from that era of HTF that really welcomed me and brought me into HTF when I really needed like a family again at UCF. Because like my freshman year, I had my group, but then that group kind of decided to disband. So I was looking for that when I walked in that fall of 2017, and I got that. So I want to thank all of those people, because if I didn't have that group, that family, I don't know if I would have been at UCF much longer. I probably would have been going back home or something, because you guys are Florida people. I'm not. So like I needed a new home, and I got that with HTF. It was like, you rush a fraternity, you rush a sorority when you go to school. HTF is my fraternity. So
Rush HTF. That's not Greek letters, and some of the girls are gonna say this is not Greek life, but they're wrong.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the class of 2018, Gabby Brooks, Layla.
Throwback.
that's throwback.
I hope I'm not forgetting anyone, because that would be really bad.
So
But I
people.
think I've listed everyone. I can't think of anyone else. But
Armond, I'm pretty sure you were next to join, like out of the seniors. So
Yeah.
run down. What's your favorite memory?
Oh man.
Or couple
It's
favorite.
like Jeremy said. I mean, like Jeremy said, there's too many to count. I think my favorite would be one of the Black History Month specials. I think it was the first one with the Talk TV CD. And Nick, it was like, that's my. I think that was my second semester there when I transferred, and like I'd never seen anything like that before. Just talk about black athletes, black culture, all that good stuff, and then and then the draft show. It's like, wow, like we really put off something like that big for 3 hours, just sitting there talking about the draft, the first round. Like who would have thought about doing that? I mean, things that I'll remember would be like, all the bonds that I created with everybody. So to this day, like you guys, we're in touch with CD, Jimmy, Kyle Valley, Meech, all those guys. I mean, the thing is that like HTF will forever be in my heart, because like, I finally find something that it solidified what I wanted to do in life. And then, I got all the connects and people that will vouch for me whenever, like I use a reference, whatever. But it's that's when I really thought like this is like a really tight knit family, other than my other family. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I love every part of HDF. So the marathon continues.
Marathon does continue. Troy, Alford, the second, third, fourth, fifth. I lose count. Troy, run down. I mean, you've been behind the scenes. You've been in front of the scenes. I know it's the second. I like messing with them though.
I know some of my best memories, and this is crazy, but some of my best memories are from when I wasn't directing, when I was kind of just starting out, like that transition, like that middle period, where I didn't have as many responsibilities, because all I had to do was just show up and just talk and all that,
I remember those days.
Yeah, but the family atmosphere was also something I really appreciate, and I always will appreciate, because I transferred, so when I came here, I didn't have no friends. I didn't know anybody. So HTF, they like had open arms. I came in, met everyone. Everyone was cool, and then not only that, just playing basketball on the weekends, and just things like that. That's something I always appreciate. You guys are always just around, and we all communicated and talked. I never had a problem with anybody. It was just something that I just always will appreciate, man. But yeah, man, I don't have one specific memory, but just the family atmosphere and how everyone cooperated. And even when I stepped up as the director, just seeing how to communicate and speak with different people, and I just learned a lot. So I'm definitely going to take this experience and carry with me as I continue to go on, throughout this industry and this, this career path.
All right, Partain, you're next in line there. You joined at a weird time.
Yeah, it was a little bit, unfortunately, a little bit late. I wish I had done another year or two. I only got about 2 years out of hitting the field, and I'll tell you that they were the best 2 years out of my 4 in college. There's no denying that. As far as memories go, it's really to pick a favorite moment. Like when every moment is fun and great and meaningful, it's hard to find several that really stand out. Um, but to me, that first or second meeting when I joined, I remember very specifically Kyle Graham and Mark Davila both at some point during that meeting. I don't remember the meeting that well, but specifically asked for my input as this rookie, never been around before, and I'm just thinking like, man, that just doesn't happen. This is these people truly want me to be here. They care about me being here, and they care about my input, and that kind of thing you don't find that very often. And you stick around with HTF for long enough, and you realize. And I'll tell you, you don't have to stick around very long to realize it. It is an actual family, and it's awesome. And I would not have traded these 2 years for anything. It was unbelievable, unforgettable, and I know everyone here is going to be able to say the same exact thing about their experiences with HTF.
Hopefully our content must have been lacking. We asked a rookie? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right?
Ooh, we asked a kid from Duval County, hey, what's your input? Go Jags. Oh, we're screwed.
Go to the beach, dude.
Hey, that is true. You know what? HTF go away party at the beach in Jacksonville.
That's right.
We'll stay at Partain's.
Hey, it's always open.
Just set up blue tape so we're social distanced, dude. Journalism. All right, and then Wolf, you're the last one to join. I guess. I mean, you were always around, but you were never really, because you were so busy with carrying a 500 or whatever that thing is around 24/7. So, Chris Wolf, just going to couple things you've got out of HTF.
I mean, even though I was only there, like I was really only part of it, maybe like a year, a little over a year, maybe. So maybe not as many memories, but I have enjoyed every second I've been a part of this. I mean, I came here as a transfer in fall 2017 from Gainesville, and to be honest, this is the first time I've ever lived out of Gainesville in my entire life. So I did not know anybody. I kind of like kept to myself for like a year. I knew I hit in the field, but I was kind of just like I'm always been a kind of a shy person. So when I first came here, I was like, I really want to join this, but it's like I'm kind of like shy about this. But as I went along at UCF, I got out of my comfort zone, and I've just been able to I put myself out there a lot more than I used to. Then by 3 years ago, I was nowhere near like this person. Now I'm more outgoing, and I mean I've really enjoyed Might I Add with KP. That's always been a fun thing.
Yes, sir.
Might I Add's at an all-time high. I checked the ratings the other day. They're doing pretty well.
Oh man.
I've always loved getting there early to help out with that. I've always loved doing that. Every Monday, it was a really fun thing to do. I was able to be at our last draft show. I was able to attend that one. It was a great experience. And it was a little disappointing that we didn't get to do the same type of format for our last one, but I am grateful that we actually have a draft, so we can at least do something for it. And you guys are all family to me, and it's just like one of the best group of friends I've had, like this whole family. That's like best group.
I'm gonna cry. So since this isn't about me, I was gonna go down and name one thing I've got from you guys. So little payback to you guys. So I'll start with Chris Wolf, the man who is great with cameras. This dude has taught me how to set up tripods. I don't know that whatever we use, the 200, whatever it's called. I don't know the name of it, but Wolf has taught me.
What a rookie.
I am a rookie. I don't know how to use cameras. But, I was struggling with cameras in ENG, and this kid's like, dude, just do this. I'm like, oh, okay. My bad. No, but Wolf, you've taught me a lot about the cameras and, setting up shots and stuff like that. So I will always, no, the webcams are messing up. Skype sucks. I'm just gonna say it. Skype sucks. I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by him, so I can say it. Skype sucks. But yeah, Wolf, I will miss you, bro. Best of luck in the future. I know you're gonna land a job doing something in the sports world. But so for Partain, geez, Partain, you've taught me how to have a switch, like when to be professional and when to be a complete screw around. Because I am a complete screw around, but I've learned a lot from you. Like, oh wait, okay, that's how you be serious for about 10 minutes, and then you say, oh, give it up for day 15 live on Nightly. I'm like, oh, that's how you can have fun. So you're a fun guy. Love to mix in laughter and be serious at the same time. Troy, this man, talk about keeping someone in check. Troy always lets me know when I'm out of my mind. When I was saying I could tackle Ezekiel Elliott or Saquon Barkley, Troy's like, you're an idiot, along with Jake. Every time I'm talking nonsense about the Eagles, Troy's keeping me in check. And Troy, you're a real one. You always keep it real no matter what. You always tell me, especially me, when I'm being an idiot and, like, cut it. So I appreciate that. JB, Brener, the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I
just
hung my head a little bit there, man.
I still remember our first season of HTF when I think we were going to play flag football to shoot the commercial, and you picked me up from campus because I didn't have a car. I still remember that, and I was like, I don't know anyone, and this kid's like, I'll pick you up. So you were my first friend at HTF, and your friendship is something I'll cherish forever. And yeah, I mean, you were my first new friend at Hitting the Field. And I will cherish your friendship for, I know you got my back, I got your back kind of thing. And Sarduy, the 49ers fan, who I always make fun of. Something I like about Armond, you're very soft-spoken, but you're always from the heart. And what you say is always meaningful. You'll always, tell us how it is. And you always know to put personal feelings away from professional feelings. Like, a lot of us, I'm not the best with it. I'll be very biased about my team, but I can put it aside. But you always look at things from an unbiased perspective, and I think that's something really important in the journalism world. And yeah, so that's what I had to say about you guys. I prepared that a tiny bit, like 5 minutes before the show.
That was great.
Thanks. I was working on that all night. So we're gonna jump into something else, another segment. I'm gonna name this new segment. So basically, what's something, if you could have changed at HTF, what would you have changed? At your time at HTF, what would you have changed? Give you guys a second to think.
I think we're all thinking the same thing, to be honest.
What, changing the host?
Last season was up and down, man.
Anyone? What do you... Besides coronavirus.
Besides, okay.
Because can I
say get rid of trivia shows?
Yes. Ooh, I am all for that. I hate trivia shows.
I got to write them. I appreciated that part.
Trivia shows were a nightmare. I agree, Partain. Get rid of trivia shows.
I'm being dead serious, dude. Part of me's joking, but I'm like, if there's one thing I can change, I love them, but like
those were just a nightmare. I'll be honest.
Logistically, man, that was a nightmare.
We tried.
We did try. It wasn't for lack of effort. That's for sure.
Thanks for effort.
Sometimes the game plan's there, and sometimes you get blown out 42-0.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think some episodes that I was on, not this semester, but semesters in the past, I went in that thing cold. Like I didn't prepare or nothing. I just winged it.
Bro, that was okay. I guess I can defend myself, but that was me on the second trivia show. I didn't study at all. I just went in. I was like, I did really well on the first one. I'll be fine on this one. Ant still tells me to this day, yeah, you ruined that trivia show for me. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
Shout out Ant. I didn't mention him earlier.
Jeez. I've done that a couple times, and it's like...
Honestly, Jaret, now that you bring it up, I don't have any regrets. And I think, honestly, a lot of that has to do with the fact that in this last year, we were super ambitious. We've always been ambitious at Hitting the Field, and this year we took that and made that a goal for us. We tried new things. We shot for the stars, even when we messed up. But that was okay because we were able to, we tried, we threw on My Day Ad, we threw on the podcast, we extended our shows, we wanted new people to be on, we wanted new people to give the chance to be hosts, we wanted to try a whole bunch of different things. We did the lady show, even though we were off campus and this coronavirus thing, we still are doing the show. And to me, that means that we put in everything that we could have into this thing. And that's because of you guys. And, we didn't have to do this, but we did because we care about this. And I know the people that are still part of the show do that as well. And honestly, I'm just proud that we were able to do as much as we could. And we all got better. Where Troy was directing from his first show to where he was with his last show, he improved so much. Jaret, your hosting from your first show to your last show also immensely improved. KP, your My Day Ad segments as well. You always wanted to try to do different things with it. And so to me, that is what mattered. Armond with the Black History Month show, I think it was the best one we'd ever done. This past semester. So honestly, when I look back at HTF, obviously we would have loved to end this in the studio. But at the end of the day, I don't think we could have done much more than what we did. And the fact that it's us that has to, lose out on our last couple shows, to me, at least that means that other people, they won't have to suffer their last shows like this. So that's the solace that I take in it. But when I look back at the 3 years that I've done at HTF, I have no regrets. I love where the show is right now, and I can't wait to pass it along to the future, to you, Jaret. I know you're going to do great things with it. So honestly, I have no regrets. I don't wish anything was different.
Fair enough. Troy?
I think everything that happened was supposed to happen. I don't have anything I would add or take away.
Like to hear that. KP, Chris, anything? Armand?
We're standing by trivia shows. But other than that,
y'all can come after that.
I'm with you on
anything after that.
I am with you on the trivia shows. I am good.
I didn't get the wit. I wasn't never part of one, but I've watched it. I was like, maybe we should take a break from it now. Maybe you can revisit it a different time. Maybe you can come up with an idea.
They can revisit that after I
Johnny
graduate.
Jackson will bring it back. I know it.
That's fine. Johnny Jackson's gonna bring a lot of stuff back that I end up cutting. No, but come on.
What about Johnny Jackson?
Did the trivia show ever bring us anything more than just stress, pain, and more time that people just didn't want to give us?
It brought us
memories, man.
Memories.
Go with the corny answer and saying memories.
Caleb Burge. That's what it brought.
Everything's memories, right? Like this was just a giant memory book where we captured a bunch of stuff on camera. Where the best stuff probably happened behind the cameras, like. All the times we've hung out, at the Pro Bowl, at UCF sporting event, at someone's house watching a game, just chilling, having fun. Like, do you think about it? When Dame pulled up and hit the buzzer beater, I think it was last year, weren't we all? I'm pretty sure we were all together watching that, and that was just, we're all like, what just happened?
Witness history.
It's just
wave goodbye.
House visits, going to the L house.
L house, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna miss the Ale House trips.
Dude, watching March Madness at Ale House. After the draft show, going to Ale House. I'm pretty sure we watched NBA opening night at Ale House this year. It's just like every Ale House is the move. Why are we not sponsored by Ale House? I'm actually thinking about that. I gotta get on our marketing team.
Get some Mountain Melts and just.
Dude, Mountain Melts slap. So, one last thing we'll go into before wrapping this up is I know all of us have kind of moved in to Orlando from a different part. So, what's one thing you're gonna miss about Orlando? Just going under. You guys are all gonna get jobs and move on. So what are you guys gonna miss most about Orlando, or just something you want to run through about your time in UCF? And floor is open. Whoever wants to start it, I won't pick this time. Just go for it.
I'll do it.
All right, woo, brave soldier.
Definitely the ale house. I mean, the mountain milk. That's delicious.
Fair enough.
But
Hey,
yeah,
Armand, newsflash: ale houses are in other cities other than Orlando. All right,
we're
fair.
very close to everybody. But yeah, I mean, on a serious note, definitely the friendships that I made here. I mean, Troy can speak to this. We both came from FEU, and that was a university of 32,000 people. It might have grown since then, but could go into a university that's over like 64,000, and then now it's more about 70,000. So it was like a little culture change, culture shock a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is a big university. This is going to take a couple of, it's going to adjust, and it's going to take some time to adjust. And then, after like the first week or so, the first month, I just settled down, trying to find my way around. I think Tati actually, she told me about HTF because I went to the NEBJ meeting that first semester I transferred here. So shout out to her. If I didn't, meet her, I would never been to HTF. So, uh, yeah, definitely the friendships I made here. I mean, in class, outside of class. Definitely, that's one thing that I remember. Um, and then also too, I think the sports here that kind of like bonded us together. We always have debates on it on Mondays, or the podcast. So definitely, that's my reflection on what you said. What always means to me, the friendships and the sports, and obviously the house. So
You just mentioned one of those debates we had. Our first draft show, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was like CD, me, you, Troy, Meech, and we were arguing best point guards in the NBA before our NFL draft show. That was like one of
oh
the
yeah,
best
because you
arguments
know
ever.
why?
Because Andre said Dave was like
Andre.
Damian Lillard.
Andre said Dave was like the best in the league or something. And this was at the time where like Curry was winning MVP. Westbrook was putting up triple doubles, even though Troy said he's a stat guy and he wasn't good. But like I just
Oh,
remember
I
that, and
remember
that was
that.
probably like one of the best debates
And
ever.
who won the MVP that year? James
It was,
Harden.
James
I
Harden.
think it was James Harden. James Harden.
That was just one of like
Throw that
that
in
was an
there.
all-time like debate. But that was a side note. All right, who's next? One of you four. I'll pick if you guys don't volunteer.
You're the host.
All right, Jeremy, since you're saying that, go ahead.
Honestly, like I feel like Orlando is very similar to where I grew up. But what's different here is the people. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you think about it this way, there is there has not been a more exciting time to be at the University of Central Florida than the 4-ish years we were there. So that's a part of it too. And, that was the falls were different. The falls were as exciting as they could be. Like you wouldn't think of UCF as a football school when we got here because I think KP got here, we were 0-12 the year before, so we weren't a football school, but we became one, and that's special too. But hitting the field is probably what I'll take the most out of UCF, and just collaborating and learning to what I was able to do because when I came to UCF, I was a business major, and that changed real quick. But then I grew into more specifically what I wanted to do with hitting the field. And hitting the field, it made Mondays not feel like work. You'd start the week off, oh, it's Monday. But you started off with hitting the field. So it didn't, and it got to a point where, if you like what you're doing, you won't work. It doesn't feel like work. And it didn't feel like work because we all wanted to be there and we all put in a good amount of effort on that show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Jaret thinks he doesn't, but like Jaret, you prepared all these questions today, and I mean that's more than I would have done. So I think that
Effort.
it led me to what I realized what I wanted to do next. So we'll see where that takes me. But I have a feeling that wherever it takes me, it's going to lead me in the right direction. Because the way I got into hitting the field was it's such a strange, long story. I won't tell it now because it's such a long, winding story. But the randomness out of it, like, proved that I was meant to be at hitting the field, and I was supposed to be there. I'm very big, and everything happens for a reason. So, kid from Houston, I shouldn't be in Orlando. Kid in Orlando, a business major, shouldn't be at HTF. I'm here, and wherever that takes me next, it'll take me next.
All right, Wolf, you're next.
I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff here because it's like this was the first time I'd been like on my own in my life since. So I was here. I wasn't here for 4 years. I was only here since 2017. So I got my AA at Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville. So I transferred from here, and it was actually kind of funny that for nearly 2 football seasons, I did not see one single loss. I came in ball 27 undefeated and beat Auburn. And then we went undefeated regular season end, and I was like, man, am I like a good luck charm? And we obviously lost on New Year's Day. I also like my sister's first. She went to UCF as well. Her first year here, that was the year we won the Fiesta Bowl. My first year here, we won the Peach Bowl. I'm like, oh, our first years.
The Wolf family.
Our football team we were at back.
Can you send someone else from your family next year? I need a rebound year next year.
I don't. I think sadly no one just planning to go to college right then. I'm the youngest in my family, sadly. But I'm gonna miss all the friendships I made here. I mean, when I first came here, I did not have many friends. Like, I did not socialize a lot, but like once I started coming here to hitting the field, and then it felt real. Like it was all real. It was all real the entire time, and you guys are just family to me, and I'm definitely gonna miss all the sports debates we all have every week. We would always find something to debate on, whether it be like best player in the NBA, who's gonna win the Super Bowl, all that stuff, and I mean, definitely gonna miss all that. It's gonna, but we all have great futures ahead of us. We're all gonna thrive. What we do, and I know that 100%, 110% true.
Partain.
Yeah. So, I'm one of the few people that actually really, at least that I know, that really loves Orlando. I'm from Jacksonville. It's really not that different from Orlando, aside from you get to the theme parks, but that's not really Orlando. Anyone here knows that. But I love Orlando, just everything about it, and I'm really going to miss that. But what I'm going to miss the most is, without a doubt, the relationships with not only hitting the field, but all my classmates that I've grown through the journalism program with, all of my friends that I've made with internships, all of my bosses that I've made great connections with at internships. It's the relationships that I've made at UCF are unlike the relationships I've made really anywhere else. Because these people I know that I've found myself to be fortunate enough to make relationships with, they're real. Every single one of these people I know keeps it real. They're there for me if I need them. I'm there for them if they need me. And you don't find people like that very often. So these 4 years have been really, really special. And thank goodness for hitting the field, because we've been able to find, that's what brought us all, that's what brought everyone here together, is sports. And there's been a lot of great sports content, a lot of great things happening at UCF with sports. But we're going to take away so much more than sports. And to me, I truly believe that I will be leaving hitting the field and UCF hopefully in a better state than when I got here, and I will be in contact with these people for a long time, hopefully forever, because these people are, the closest friends I've had. So I can't stress enough how awesome these relationships with everyone has been over the past 4 years, and yeah, that's the big takeaway from Orlando and UCF.
All right, and Troy, you want to close us out here?
One thing I'm gonna miss, man, is just remember those days we used to play basketball like late at night in
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
UC
Monday nights.
Oh, yeah.
So always just link up
Yeah.
basketball. I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna miss those times. Like I said earlier, L House. Get into the show. Around 9:30. Whenever we show up, 9 o'clock. Some got there early, some got there late. But
Call it
that,
nine.
those pre-production moments of just talking and debating about whatever had happened. Prior Sunday or weekend. Just those times where everyone coming in talking. Just the camaraderie. I'm gonna really miss everyone being together. Those were really great moments. And yeah, man, I think y'all pretty much said everything, man. But that's something I'm going to miss.
Fair enough. And Jeremy, you said crew call 8:30 sometimes. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
8:30. I thought I was gonna get out of
They
bed.
called
Every
30
Monday.
minutes later at 9 when I actually wanted them to be there.
I think I still hold the record for most times late, which is weird.
No.
Nah, you're right. There are some people that are much later.
Hey, Jaret, I'm going to give you that piece of information. Tell people to come 30 minutes before you actually want them to come.
That's fine. I live in South Florida. I understand the whole, 30-minute interval thing. But, gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this senior show. But stay tuned because this is HTF's busiest week, I would say, in HTF history. We have, last night, we recorded the GOAT debate, with Ross and
Don't say this
Okito.
out
That went
already.
out today, or last
Went
night.
out yesterday.
Yesterday, see?
That is a must look.
I don't have you writing my
That's a
scripts.
must-
It's kind of difficult for me. But then today later today we are meeting to discuss our HTF draft show, which will go live Thursday night at 8 o'clock when the NFL draft goes live. Tuesday tomorrow we have the series finale. For now, it's gonna be season finale of Might I Add with the host Kyle Partain. Kyle, quick preview of that.
Dude, it's gonna be really special. We're gonna be talking about moments at UCF that made our time here what it was.
All right, that's a little sneak peek at that. And then Wednesday, we will have the final mock draft podcast with our host, Jeremy Brener. And we will have two very special guests on that show. Jeremy, just a quick thing on the final mock draft.
We've been dropping mock drafts every month since the beginning of the year, and this month it's our final answers. It's our last test before we turn it in.
All right, and then Thursday, as I said, we will go live with the draft show. We're going to have a bunch of guests. We're going to be rotating in and out. You're going to get to see a bunch of fresh faces here on Hitting the Field. And then Friday, we will recap that first round in a podcast once again. As always, guys, I thank you for joining me today on Hitting the Field, and I'm going to close this out old school style with a little old school theme music. But as always, guys, we will catch you on Thursday live here at Hitting the Field for our annual draft show. So for now, go Knights, charge on, and we'll catch you later.